The Jeffersons, Michigan, and Dr. Martin Luther King are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is January 18th, 2023. It is the 18th day of the year. You got 347 days left. It is the third Wednesday in the third week and the 29th day of winter. You got 61 days left until spring. I keep getting questions on why I skip certain things of the date. Well, I like to save things for next year, or I covered them from the year before, so I'm going to start a little thing here where I kind of tell you what we've done in the past. On past January 18th, we did Fistful of Dollars, great Clint Eastwood movie for the 18th of January. Our deep dives in the last 2 years were Jim Thorpe and MLK Day. So let's check out today. Today is National Michigan Day. National Michigan Day is celebrated every year on January 18th. Michigan is fondly called the Great Lakes State. That is because it is bordered by 4 of the 5 Great Lakes. The Great Lakes are Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, and Lake Superior. The only one Michigan doesn't touch is Lake Ontario. Lake Ontario is a little too far east. It's out there by Toronto and Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and then Rochester, New York, Watertown. Another interesting fact about Michigan's geography, it's the only state that is spread across lower and upper peninsulas. Michigan is famous for its automobile manufacturing back in the day. They still have some, not like it was in the heyday of the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and probably even into the 70s. It was home to the big three, as they called them: General Motors, Ford, and Fiat Chrysler these days. The word Michigan comes from a Ojibwe word that means large water or lake. Michigan has a population of over 10 million residents and an area of roughly 97,000 square miles, making it the 10th largest by population and 11th largest by area. Michigan is rich in iron and copper and was first explored by the French. It soon became the center for industrial activities, becoming an American territory in 1783. Michigan's a pretty amazing state, and it's got some bad things. Detroit doesn't have the best reputation, and neither does Flint, Michigan, but the people are decent, and it's a beautiful state, especially outside the cities. All right, let's see what else January 18th has given us. 1896, an X-ray generating machine is exhibited for the first time by H.L. Smith. 1911, Eugene B. Ely lands on the deck of the USS Pennsylvania, anchored in San Francisco Bay, the first time an aircraft has ever landed on a ship. 1967, Albert DeSalvo, the Boston Strangler, is convicted of numerous crimes and is sentenced to life in prison. 1977, scientists identify the previously unknown bacterium as the cause of the mysterious Legionnaire's disease. 1990, Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry is arrested for drug possession in an FBI sting. This guy was a mess. He's the mayor of Washington, D.C., a city that really has never done well when it comes to crime and poverty. Well, he's the leader of the pack, and he gets caught on an FBI sting with some ladies that apply the oldest profession and some drugs, and he's caught on video doing this stuff. Marion Barry was born in Mississippi in 1936. When he was 4 years old, his father moved the family to Memphis, Tennessee. He was a Boy Scout and earned the rank of Eagle Scout, worked as a waiter at the American Legion post, and still maintained extremely good grades all through middle and high school. He attended the University of Kansas, the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and eventually got his master's degree from Fisk University. So he was a very educated man. He was also involved in activism during his college years. Marion Barry got into politics and was elected to the school board and a couple other things, and eventually became the mayor of Washington, D.C. in 1979. And he continued to be the mayor till 1991 during that whole FBI sting thing. He originally decided he wasn't going to run for re-election because, he'd been arrested. But then later changed his mind and ran again. This time as a third-party candidate type thing. There's a lot of ins and outs to that, but he didn't win. He did 6 months in jail, though. That was entertaining. But the most entertaining part of the life of Marion Barry is he was eventually reelected. In 1995, he was sworn in again as the mayor of Washington, D.C. A comedian once said his new campaign slogan, this was obviously years ago, should be, "No hotel rooms, no drugs, just good old-fashioned politics." Marion Barry died on November 23, 2014 from cardiac arrest. He was 78 years old. 1993, Martin Luther King Jr. Day is officially observed for the first time in all 50 states. There was a few holdouts for a while there, Arizona being one of them. Premiered on January 18th, 1975, The Jeffersons, one of the longest-running sitcoms in television history, which centered on a wealthy African-American family that has moved into a new apartment building and their relationship with the other tenants. If you watched TV back in the day, this was all the rage. Originally, it started off as the Jeffersons were next-door neighbors to Archie Bunker, and they became so popular, they gave them their own show. The Jeffersons lasted for 11 seasons. Like I said, they started on January 18th, 1975, and their last episode was July 2nd, 1985. They had a total of 253 episodes. Sherman Hemsley, Marla Gibbs, Roxy Roker, and Isabel Sanford. Just a great show. Born on January 18th, 1969, Dave Bautista, also known simply as Bautista. He broke the record for the longest reign in WWE wrestling history. He won the crown 6 times throughout his career. He also starred as Drax the Destroyer in the 2014 Marvel film Guardians of the Galaxy, and then he was in like a bunch of Marvel movies playing Drax. Great character. I mean, he's an okay actor, but the character that he plays, Drax, he's perfect for it. It's amazing. He lived in poverty, with 3 murders occurring on his front lawn before he was 9 years old. He began stealing cars at 13. Back in 2005's Royal Rumble match, he headlined it in WrestleMania 21, which became one of the top 5 highest grossing events in pro wrestling history. I think he said he's doing one more Drax Marvel movie, and that's it. And that's too bad. I think he's got a few more in him. He plays such a great part. On January 18th, 2016, we lost Glenn Frey, singer-songwriter with the rock band The Eagles. He was the lead vocalist on such hits as Tequila Sunrise and Take It Easy. He also released 5 solo albums, which the first 2, No Fun Allowed and The All-Nighter, earned gold certification. At age 19, he played guitar and provided backup vocals for Bob Seger's 1968 song, Ramblin' Gamblin' Man. He moved to Los Angeles following a girlfriend named Joan Slowiden, who was an aspiring songwriter herself. They were part of a backup thing, him and Don Henley, who was another one of the Eagles, for Linda Ronstadt. They decided they were going to go out on their own, and they were nervous about telling Linda Ronstadt because she was a big star and her agent and all this, and they said she was just nothing but happy for him. You know, they thought they were, kind of bailing on her. And she's like, no, absolutely. You guys do your own thing. From about 2000, Frey had suffered from rheumatoid arthritis, which affected his joints. The medication that he was prescribed to control the disease eventually led to other medical problems like pneumonia. And in November of 2015, the Eagles announced that they were postponing their appearance at the Kennedy Center Honors because Frey required surgery for an intestinal problem and needed a lengthy recovery period. Because of complications from pneumonia, he never had the surgery and was placed in a medically induced coma at Columbia Medical University Center. Frey died on January 18, 2016, at the age of 67 from complications of rheumatoid arthritis, ulcerative colitis, and pneumonia. Don't hassle me, I struggle sometimes with medical terms to pronounce them properly. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, be nice to each other.